So you've just won a new corporate client. Now, how do you actually get paid on time by that corporate client? Some of them have really long payment terms these days. 30 days no longer seems to be the norm. I've seen 60, 90, even 120 days. So you need to make sure that you're taking the right steps so that you're actually getting paid at the end of that long wait. I've had experience of invoicing some really big brands, McDonald's, Pepsi, Diageo, Samsonite. So I'm sharing today some of my tips on getting paid on time. Firstly, I would say to gather all of the information and all of the details around the invoicing process that you can. It sounds obvious, but often there's a lot of different bits to capture and to find out. You'll need to know exactly which legal entity you're going to be invoicing and the full name and address of that entity. Where do you submit the invoice to? Is it an email address? Is it a portal upload? Do you send it direct to the finance department? I have my own list to check on this. Payment terms, currency, purchase order number, any other reference numbers you need to include, like a cost center code or a supplier reference number. Xero's got lots of different fields where you can input this kind of information. And even if you run out, I would just use the space here as a line within the invoice itself to just give them all the information that they want. VAT requirements, invoicing format. I find PDF as usual, but always double check. And where do you go for invoice queries, status checks, that kind of thing. Often there's a lot of different details to capture, so get your hands on all of the different bits that you need. Secondly, I would say to try and get all of this information as early on in the invoicing process as possible. Again, I know this sounds obvious, but this kind of thing is not always front of mind for the account managers, the ones that are there pitching and winning the client work. If it's not already in place, I would suggest something like a new project form where you can list out all of the details that you need and then provide that to the account managers and sort of embed it as an internal process to be used. Number 3, once you've got all of the information about the invoicing process, follow that to the letter, because it can be a really costly mistake if later on, when you don't get paid on time, you realize you haven't done exactly what they asked you to do. It can be a complicated process. I would say just take your time and just make sure you're just working through the steps correctly. Also ask. They may have some resources or instruction manuals, especially if there's a portal involved. They might have resources available to help you navigate the portal correctly. Number 4 would be to keep in touch with the account managers, especially if the invoice installments are closely linked to project milestones. Then it's really crucial that finance is kept informed. And then lastly, number 5, I would say that especially if it's a new client, can you follow up after you've submitted your invoice to make sure that they've received it and are hopefully processing it? And I would also suggest, even if it's not a new client, maybe check in with them a few days before the due date to make sure you're all on the same page on when it's going to be paid. So I would say my key takeaway from this is to understand the whole invoicing process and all of the steps that entails, and then follow it to the letter if you want to get paid on time, which we all do. I hope this has been helpful. I share a lot of practical insights, and I'm going to be doing future videos giving practical examples. So if you would like to subscribe, please do if you feel like it's going to be useful.